Complete the squares and sketch a graph of 5x squared equals 4y squared plus 10x plus 75. We'll start by moving the variable terms all to the same side. When we do that, the 4y squared and the 10x become negative. So on the left-hand side, we have 5x squared minus 10x, and then we also have minus 4y squared equals 75. Now, before we complete the square with the x terms, we need to factor out that 5. So this gives us 5 times x squared minus 2x, and then we still have minus 4y squared equals 75. Now to complete the squares with the x's, we need to add 1, but what we've really done is added 5 times 1 to the left-hand side. So we'll also have to add 5 times 1 to the right-hand side. Now that we've done that, we can factor out the x's. So we've got 5 times x minus 1 squared minus 4y squared equals 80. And we're starting to see something that is looking like a hyperbola, because we've got a positive x squared term and a negative y squared term. So we want the constant term to be 1, which means we've got to divide both sides by 80. When we do this, 5/80ths reduces to 1/16. So we've got x minus 1 quantity squared over 16. Minus 4/80ths reduces to 1/20th. So y squared over 20 equals 1. And this is going to be a hyperbola that's opening up horizontally. It's also going to be shifted 1 unit to the right, so the center is going to be at the point 1, 0. Now we need to draw the vertices and the central box and the asymptotes so we can sketch the graph. We see that a squared is 16, which means that a is 4. And so the vertices are going to be 4 units to the right and 4 units to the left of the center. And then we look and we see b squared is 20. So b is the square root of 20, which is about 4.5. So the other points we're going to use for our central box are going to be about 4.5 units above and 4.5 units below the center. So we're going to be right there and right there. Now, once we have those points, we can go in and we can draw our central box. Just like this. And then once we've drawn the central box, we can go in and draw the asymptotes. Now, because b was not an integer, it's an irrational number, what we've done with our central box is we've drawn an approximation. And what that means is that these asymptotes are also going to be approximations. They might be slightly off just because of the nature of how we've done this. So our graph is not going to be absolutely perfect, but of course we're doing the best we can. Now, once we have the central box and the asymptotes, we can go in and draw the 2 branches of the hyperbola. We start at the vertices and we draw the curve so that it is tangent to the central box and asymptotically approaching those asymptotes. We're going to do the same thing on the other side for the other branch. Now, mine is not perfect. You can see it's not really symmetrical. I gave a little bit more space up here than I did down there. But really, I'm not that picky. If your graph is pretty good enough, if it's going through the right vertices, if you've got the asymptotes correct, and if it's clear that you're trying to make it be asymptotically approaching the asymptotes, that is good enough for me. So this is our graph of 5x squared equals 4y squared plus 10x plus 75.